Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. I am so happy to be with you today and to be recording this episode. I have a lot to say, and I hope I can get it out in a very clear and succinct way. I took a couple of notes so I can keep myself on track. I like to practice what I preach, and I like to always go first, especially when things are highly uncomfortable. So before I teach people in my group coaching program something, it's usually some problem I have solved and worked fully through. Something that has been coming up for me a lot lately is this idea about letting your clients have thoughts about you and letting people be wrong about you, no matter what, and not having to argue or prove that they're wrong. This is a really hard idea, especially for me, because I love to be right. I love to argue, and I love to have the last word. Just ask my mom and dad. They'll tell you Heather loves to have the last word, and she could have been a lawyer because she loves to argue so much. I hope my mom is listening to this because she will think it's hilarious. Okay, so I want you to let your clients have thoughts about you. No matter how hard you try to prevent this, they will always have thoughts about you anyways. I want you to let that sink in for a second. No matter how hard you try, they're going to have thoughts anyways. Allowing your clients to be wrong about you will help you to raise your rate, set your boundaries, enforce your policies, and move your business to fully booked quicker. So you might be thinking, this sounds absolutely awful, Heather. And I want you to know that you aren't wrong. In fact, this idea of letting people be wrong about me has been a huge part of my growth this year. And it's going to continue to be as I grow. A few weeks back, someone emailed me and told me that I was doing something wrong. They didn't like what I was doing. They had a huge story about me, lots of accusations. And the thing is none of what they were saying was true for me, not one single piece of it. And even knowing that, it still stung. It still hurt my feelings, and I did get upset. I wanted to email them back and let them know how wrong they were. And even after I explained in a short, sweet email, they emailed me back to double down on the story that they had. So you know what I decided to do? I decided I'm just going to let them be wrong about me. And it gave me a lot of peace. When I made this decision, I was able to get back on track and back to work on all of the things that are important to me. You know what is important to me? Helping you to get fully booked. Helping you to get fully booked and working only the hours you want to work. Helping you get fully booked, working the hours you want to work, making the money that you want to make. Making MFR mainstream. These are the things that are really, truly important to me. It's no longer important to me that people understand and like me at all times. It's okay for people to not like me, to think things that aren't true, and to actually be 100% wrong about me. I'm too busy helping people, too busy creating ways to teach MFR therapists to do a better job at talking about and selling MFR so they can overcome objections and feel better about themselves in their businesses so they can help more people. That is the important stuff. No matter how much I do, how much I show up, how much time and energy I spend, there will always be someone somewhere who doesn't like it, who doesn't like me, and who will twist the things I teach and make them wrong. And maybe even tell on me and try to get me in trouble. But I just say, go ahead. I will allow you to be wrong about me all day long. My mission is way too important to stop. And I want this for you too. I want you to feel so supported and so educated and so ready to handle anything that happens in your business that you have the mindset to allow people to be wrong about you too. It is so freeing. In order for me to be really good at teaching this, I have to go first. I have to be willing to go through it. So here I am. I volunteer as tribute, as always. I want you to know that I am alive and well. I made $1 million while people were wrong about me. I helped hundreds of therapists inside my paid programs in the last few years, and thousands of those of you who listen to this podcast. All while some people were out there being wrong about me, and I didn't die. And you can do this too. You can raise your rate, leave your job, ask for a raise, say no to doing things for free or that costs you time and valuable money. You can stop working on weekends. You can stop under earning right now, all by allowing people to be wrong about you and doing it anyways. It's so important that you're not waiting to start your business or raise your rate or tell clients that you're only going to be working 3 days a week, or stop doing 30-minute, 45-minute, 1-hour treatments, 90-minute treatments, 2-hour treatments, Saturday treatments. It's so important that you're able to tell your clients that now when you want to, and you're not waiting for a medical emergency or burnout in order to give yourself permission to do it because you're afraid your clients are going to be upset. If you're serious about starting or growing your own MFR business, you can't miss this. My book, The MFR Coach's Guide to Having Your Own MFR Business, is now available on Amazon for just $9.99. I've slashed the price in half for a limited time to make sure you get the tools you need to succeed. Head on over to Amazon, search for The MFR Coach, and grab your copy before the deal ends. Pause this episode now. Go grab your book. Let's get it. This deal won't be here for long. We just enrolled a new group of people into group coaching, and I love when new people come in, and it doesn't mean they're new to MFR and it doesn't mean they're new to their business, but new people to coaching are always so afraid to change anything, especially if a handful of clients or all their clients have been used to something. This can be something like going from multiple offers to one offer, something like raising your rate, something like getting rid of a package discount if it's no longer serving you. And when you are super afraid of clients having thoughts about you or being upset, it will keep you from making those decisions and making those changes that will help you to never under earn and never burn out. And I just want you to think about how important it is for you to be able to make these decisions quickly and to have the tools and the support and the mindset to be able to move through this quickly. Sometimes people struggle with this for months and years and decades because they are just so unwilling to feel uncomfortable about anyone having thoughts about you, right? And it's the thing is we don't have any control over what anyone else thinks or believes about us. We think we do. If we're just good, if we just do the right thing all the time, if we just do what everybody else wants us to do, everyone will love us and love what we're doing. And the thing is that just absolutely isn't ever the case. We don't have any control over what anyone else thinks about us or does, really. So I want you to consider asking yourself, do I have the support and the tools and the mindset to allow people to be wrong about me? Do I have that capability? Am I able to set myself free, or am I dependent on someone else telling me I'm doing a good job? Am I dependent on someone else saying, you're doing the right thing? Am I dependent on someone else liking me in order for me to feel good and to have a good day? Am I dependent on my client rebooking in order to feel good? right? These are all things that can be big problems in our businesses. And you might be thinking, of course, I need my client to rebook in order to feel like I'm doing a good job. But the truth is you don't need your client to do or say anything in order for you to feel like you're doing a good job. You do a good job when you get support for yourself and have tools and access and mindset work to be able to have a clean brain without any drama. So no matter what your client says or does, it doesn't affect the outcome of your day. And if it does affect the outcome of your day, it's not for as long as it used to. Now, I'm a human being and I, of course, love it when people like me. It feels so good. But what I've learned from being around so many people, and as my groups grow and I'm exposed to more and more people, and there's a bigger amount of personalities, is that there will be people who don't like me, don't like what I do, that are wrong about me, and they can still get every single thing they need out of my program using my tools and my support. They don't have to like me at all. I mean, it's easier if you do, but you don't have to. And you can still get fully booked and you can still make more money than you've ever made. We just have so much evidence and proof of that inside the program. But I digress. I just want you all to know that it is so freeing when you let people be wrong about you and you move forward in your business and in your life, and you quit having the thoughts and feelings and actions of having to prove yourself so that they get on board and they agree with you again. It's okay for them to be wrong. It's super okay. You don't even have to tell them they're wrong. You get to decide in your brain how you want to interact with these kinds of circumstances, right? Everything that happens is a circumstance. It's neutral until you have a thought about it. When you think about it in a certain way, you're going to feel a certain way. And then you're going to do things or not do things based on how you feel. That's ultimately going to lead to a result. I want the result of feeling so satisfied with my business that it wouldn't matter how anyone else judged it, because my satisfaction level would be so high. I want to feel so proud of myself that I don't need anyone else to be proud for me. I can do it all, right? I want to be so extremely aware of the influences that still have a hold of me, that are keeping me in a situation where I want them to like me. So I maybe do something that I don't like. I want to be so aware of that so that I can stop doing it, even though it's going to be difficult and uncomfortable and maybe sad and maybe devastating and maybe painful, right? I'm willing to feel all of these emotions. And you might be thinking like, what's the drama, Heather? Like, what's going on? There's no drama. Nothing is going on. I'm just using this as an example because I see this coming up with people that I coach. I see people hesitating to do things because they're afraid of what they think their clients are going to think about them, what they think their spouse is going to think of them if they pay $3,000 to come into my program, what they think their parent is going to think of them if they spend money on something and the parent thinks it's foolish. I just want you to know it's okay for people to be wrong about you. And it doesn't mean that you make bad decisions or that you aren't going to be successful. I like it when I can prove people wrong and I don't have to even let them know. I do it for myself. It's not something that needs to be external at all. And how I prove that to myself is with my own satisfaction, like I just talked about, my own peace, my own neutrality. Like, how neutral can I be about some of these real fiery circumstances that happen? How neutral can I get? And how can I then take something that's happened to me and teach it to someone else so they don't have to suffer because they don't know that that suffering is optional? So try to put this in practice this week. Find where someone is wrong about you and you're pissed or you're annoyed or you feel like you just really need to explain yourself, and don't do it and see what happens. Don't engage. Don't explain yourself. Get really clear to yourself why you do what you do or why you've done what you've done, and like your reasons. And you are the only one that has to do that for yourself. All right. I hope this is helpful. I hope you can put this into practice right away. Let people be wrong about you and do the thing that you want to do. And again, I'm just going to always reiterate this. Surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to do. They're either ahead of you or in alignment with you, and you can look up to them. They can hold your hand. They can encourage you. They can give you skills. They can move you along. If you are only surrounding yourself by people with the same level of fear that you have, you will stay in that level of fear. I want you to move beyond that. I want you to see your greatness and to see everything that is possible for you when you quit depending on other people to tell you how good you are and that it's possible. Start deciding what's possible for you and just take it. Let's frickin' go. Let's make MFR mainstream by getting your business fully booked and ensuring that you are still in business 5 years from now. All right. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you on another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast next week. Take care. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a minute and rate and review the podcast. I appreciate it. For more information, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The MFR Coach. And check out my website, www.themfrcoach.com, for more information. If you are currently not working 20 hours or less and making 6 figures in your MFR business, I want to help you change that. Make sure you tune into the show and get on my email list so you never miss out on important trainings and information. To be the first to find out when we are enrolling next for my 12-month Business Foundations coaching program, get on that email list at www.themfrcoach.com/join. Inside this program, you'll learn how to raise your rate, overcome objections, and sell MFR. You'll become the MFR therapist that never under-earns and never burns out. It's up to us to make MFR mainstream, and it starts with you and your successful MFR practice. See you next week.